This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hello, all my feline friends. This is Michelle Fern, host of Cattitude. Okay, this is for all you fur babes out there. I have something that's just going to take the edge off. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this message.
You know that feeling when you go to clean the litter box and it's a complete disaster? Yeah, we've got you covered. Introducing World's Best Cat Litter Zero Mess, the advanced litter that gives you 2 times better clumping and more odor control with less litter. Zero Mess combines the concentrated power of corn with super absorbent plant fibers. Translation, scoop once and you're done. Find it at a pet store near you and save $2. Visit www.saveonworldsbest.com.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. I am so excited to have this company on my show. I discovered them at Global Pet Expo in the most bizarre way. And I'd like to introduce Marc Adams. He is the CBD, the Chief Business Development Monster, as he says, of Meowijuana. Welcome, Marc.
Meow. How you doing?
So,
thanks for having us, Michelle.
Oh, thanks for being on. Now, I have to tell everyone who's listening, when I go to Global, I see a lot of different, lots of new products. There's usually like 700 different vendors there and many, many new products. But this is, and I've been we've been going since 2010. So 7 years. I think this was our 8th year, 8 years of it. Okay, I've never seen a stoned cat come up to me and say, hey, what's happening? Or meow or whatever. So that's how I met Marc and his company, Meowijuana. And you can see pictures on Instagram. It's either on Cattitude 17 or Best Bets for Pets. Marc, who thought of that cat?
Yeah, so first of all, thanks, Michelle, for having us on the show, and we surely appreciate you guys coming by the booth at Global. It was a pretty stellar event. I mean, it was just super busy, and we kind of let our cat roam around the booth. While we were there, we had a good spot in that 10 by 20 right there on the corner. Best place to pedal your nip. But the concept for MJ, affectionately, that's the cat's name. It stands for Meowie Jim. So MJ, that concept came up along probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and we were thinking about what kind of a mascot would be fitting and complimentary for the brand. And so we thought about a lot of different ideas, a lot of different visions and thoughts about, is it a character? Is it a person? And so at the end of the day, we came up with a mascot that I think people can identify with, that's, kind of hippie, but still kind of cool and modern, but surely loves their share of catnip, right? So we came up with the idea. We got a really good group to put our costume together. And then we launched MJ officially last year at Super Zoo. And I mean, people just went wild. It was kind of a last minute thing, but we knew at Global we were going to make it extra special because we had a larger booth and we had been there before, and so it went over really well. So obviously, people got a lot of photos, a lot of cat selfies, and he didn't scratch anyone, so that was good.
That was really good. But just like most trade shows, you have booths where they're very engaging, and you have, some booths where they're not so engaging. They're just there, like, okay, we have to be at this show. We're just sitting here. Yep. And I always, when we had a booth for a little while at Global, and in another world, when I wore another hat, I've done trade shows, And it always blows my mind that there's such an expense and it's such an effort to set up a booth and the cost of the booth and all of that. And people don't work it. And you guys worked it. I mean, Meowie Jim is...
That's right.
For everybody listening, and I'm going to see if the producer can have a picture on the episode page of Meowie Jim. But you have to figure there's this 6-foot-plus tall, kind of stone-looking cat coming up to you saying, hey, or I don't even know. He didn't, I don't think he talked much. He just gestured. And I just thought, okay, I got to get an interview with these people because this is just too clever. And, but... We're not just going to talk about that. There's a reason you have Meowie Jim. And I think just about most people can relate, especially because it's legal in a lot of states, Well, it's legal in all states for your version of Meowijuana, but...
That's right. Yep.
But,
It's global.
but, slowly, it's not for people. It's not marijuana. It's Meowijuana. Just so everybody knows. And when I received my sample, I got to tell you, from what I kind of remember it looking like, it looks like the real thing. And it's kind of how you have your Meowijuana packaged. It's, you have catnip spliffs and blunts. You have twin baggies.
Yep.
Which you have.
Yep.
And the jar of buds looks like buds.
There you go. Yep. So again, at the end of the day, it is, to your point, Michelle, it's a fun mimic, to probably an all too familiar industry, but specifically for us, I mean, we surely like to have fun, but we really think about the quality of the product. And, catnip is a common product, but in the past, I mean, especially since cats, tend to have played a lot of second fiddle over the years to the dog community, catnip has been, kind of boring, right? And not only boring, some cats really are not as susceptible to catnip. So we really had to, come to the game. When I say the game, I'm talking about the pet industry with a game changer. And so that was the vision associated with Meowijuana. And there's obviously a broader vision for us, which is really to try and revolutionize this cat industry and to drive a better relationship between cats and cat owners, pets and pet owners. And so we came up with all these really cool names, like there's our jar of buds, which to your point, it's packaged and it does kind of look like the real thing. And then, of course, we have our Meowie J's, which are our little catnipus joints that we roll ourselves. So they're kind of our pre-rolls, which are, of course, filled with catnip. And for those of you that might be asking the question, what is it? It is 100% organically grown, all-natural catnip that we grow and harvest right here in the U.S. And so, there's our Leaf and Flake and our shake products like our Meowie Wowie, our Purple Passion, our Calico Kush, our Feline Express, our Siamese Twinge. We just kept going. And, ever since, we've gotten a lot of rave reviews, especially from the consumers and even the folks that go to these shows, as you mentioned, Michelle. But Global has by far been probably the flagship, because when we went in 2017, we really hadn't planned to go. We really didn't know, whether or not the product would do well or people would, look at it weird, or if anybody would show up at our booth. And then we came home with the first prize of Best New Product, right, in 2017. So it was pretty stellar, and it just kind of took off from there.
Well, congrats on winning first prize. That is not an easy feat because there are so many products. I don't know if people realize there's hundreds of products at Global. So many.
Yep.
Well, besides how you packaged and marketed your product, it's very exciting for the kitties, let me tell you. When I received the sample, I took it from the studio, brought it home with me, and it's taped up very well. The package was secured very well because I didn't shut my office door. And in the morning, I see there's things that from the desk flew down and everything, and there's all these little bite marks. And it's on Instagram under Best Bets for Pets. You could see these little bite marks, but they couldn't get through. I don't know how, but they could not get through to the stash.
That's so funny.
Once I let them open it, let them try it. I've never seen, Dennis was actually licking it. I mean, he was going nuts, and I haven't seen this kind of reaction from him before. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it definitely had him very excited. And then I had to remember, and those of us that have cats and are listening and have given them catnip know, you can't just leave it, in an open spot. You can't even leave it in something that could be opened with a flick of a paw. It has to be like hidden because they'll just get into it.
Yep.
And right, have you had that? Did that happen to you?
Oh, so, I mean, not only that, Aaron, who's one of our partners, so there's 3 owners, 3 partners, and so Aaron's cat has been, very much our research and development candidate, associated with the different items that we come out with. But more funny than that is the different responses and posts and likes and videos and pictures that we get from the consumers. One gal that sent us the picture of her cat, which was really funny, she ordered through, Amazon or something like that, and the box that it came in, her cat made a bed out of it. So, I mean, basically when they emptied out all the products, the potency associated with this catnip is such as to where cat was just kind of hanging out in the box, right, rolling around, and then eventually, just made a home out of it, which I thought was funny. We've gotten other consumers that send us emails where their cats have gone through the mail because we recently started offering, we pass out these sample dime bags at the show, which I think you got some of those, Michelle. And, so we do provide those to consumers. You can go onto our website at samples.meowijuana.com. And you can sign up, and we'll ship you out, some samples for your cat to try out. But ultimately, we get these pictures back and emails of cats going through the mail and ripping through letters and trying to find that product. So to your point, we do have to seal it up pretty good, which I think is one of the things that helped us in terms of packaging. Because again, cats, they're very susceptible in terms of their sense of smell. I think it's like 40 times higher than the average human, and so they will find it. Right, so if anyone's buying catnip, at least from Meowijuana, I definitely would recommend the jar of buds because it's sealed, it's got a clasp, and of course we've got bags of buds, and those are Ziploc, they're resealable. But generally cat owners are pretty good about stowing that stuff away. But cats are pretty smart, and as they should be.
Yeah, and the bad thing is when you don't remember. What happened is when I unpacked from the Global, I think 1 of the, or 2 of the bags of catnip, the samples that you gave me, were still in a bag, and I had forgotten about it. And they'll just go through everything, tear apart, go and have a party during the night. Say next morning you go in your office and go, what happened? So let's talk about
right?
Yeah, catnip party. I should Meowijuana party. So
that's right.
What's the difference between organic catnip, the catnip you grow, and then catnip that you just get at the store that's just regular catnip?
Well, and again, the process associated with catnip in general is always built around the planting process, the seeding process, and then ultimately, kind of how you harvest that, right? So organics is nothing new to consumers. And so for us, we've taken the time to, the land that we own, we make sure that field was clear and is clear. And so when we start our seeding process and the plant starts growing, the good thing about catnip is that each harvest actually yields better plant, right? So the more you harvest, throughout each season, the better yield you're going to get associated with the potency of that catnip plant. So you get consumers that are, they got their own garden, or they're just growing a little bit for their own cat, if they can keep the feral and the neighborhood cats out of it. And you'll find that for the most part, it's pretty good catnip, right? They got good soil, they're taking care of it, so on and so forth. But again, the more you do it, I think the stronger it will be, just based upon the fact that, the soil is rich and obviously the plant has had some time to mature. It's like anything else. You get strong roots and ultimately you'll get a strong plant. So we do take some time associated with that process. And then, of course, because, we're very sensitive to the nepetalactone, which is the chemical compound found in the plant, is that we hand trim everything so that we're not disturbing those buds. And of course, when cat gets a hold of that, and they start breaking those buds, and they inhale it through their, through the nasal, through the olfactory glands, it just gets them going wild. For some, they get really frisky, and that's a good thing because it stimulates activity, which is good for the cat. And then some just mellow out, right? So Michelle, it just depends on your cat, and obviously it depends upon where and how you're going to plant, and then just nurture that plant through to its maturity. But we take that process really seriously. But at the end of it, it's a really good product, so we packaged it well, and it allows us to have fun, it allows the consumer to have fun, and it definitely allows the cat to have fun.
That's great info, because I didn't know a lot about that. Good learning info for me, and probably for a lot of my furry feline friends and everyone out there, all the pet parents out there listening.
Yeah, so if there are, just as a note, Michelle, one of the things that we do at Meowijuana is that we do create documentation, because knowledge is power, right? And so we make up brochures of our products, but then we also make up just small flyers, especially for retailers that have interest in terms of purchasing our product and then selling them in their stores, right? If there are retailers that obviously are listening to your show, they can go onto our website, and there's a wholesale link that they can inquire and apply for distribution for wholesale products from Meowijuana. And with that, we provide the documentation about what catnip is, all those questions that you get in terms of, can you feed it to humans, how do you give it to cats, what's really in it. So all those things I think are helpful in terms of trying to help educate pet owners about what they're giving to their cats, right? And most cats, I think like 8 out of 10, are susceptible to catnip, but then what do you do with the other 2 out of 10 cats, right? So of that 20%, what we've done is made a few upgrades. So we launched those at Global as well, which is we blended our catnip with valerian root, which is now signature within our Calico Kush product. And then we've married up our catnip with silver vine in our purple passion. So that really helps us to try and cover the gamut in terms of those cats that are finicky, as they are, even associated with a common product like catnip. So we're hoping that that'll help us to just raise the bar, right, associated with trying to get some high paw from our four-legged friends and their parents. So I just figured I'd mention that because, again, I think that's important for any catnip owners as well as catnip buyers as well as catnip sellers, right, and growers. So you just got to keep up with the trends.
Like you said, you have a vast amount of products. You have catnip spray, you have kitty keef, everything you've talked about. And, although it's a play on, marijuana, but it's catnip. And catnip for your cats is kind of like, I don't know, I remember having a show about this years ago and learning about it. And catnip is kind of, you know how, I guess for the human version, it's like having a drink every so often. Well, that's what it's like for your cats. There's something within the weed of catnip. I think it's a weed. Something in there that, like you said, affects 80% of cats. And it just makes them a little, zany. I don't know that they're, technically high.
That's a good word.
But it's just like a little,
great word.
something a little fun for your cats. It's not 100% necessary, but then neither are toys, neither are treats. But it's something that's going to bring a lot of joy to your cats. They like it, you know?
They do. They really do. And it is a utility. I think that, cat owners, which are very loving to their animals, and I'm not saying that, dog owners are less loving, but, cat owners are just unique, Michelle. They're very special, and their cats are very special, and that's why, the cat population is superseding that of the dog, at least as far as last year in terms of a lot of the reports I've read. It's like 10% higher in most U.S. homes.
It's actually almost double of dog owners.
Oh, right on. Yep.
And the reason is because most people that have cats don't have one, they have two.
That's right. That's exactly right. Yep. And so, because of that, it is important that when you're providing products for your cat, that they're organic, that they're all natural. And that's one of the things that we really focus heavily on. And so, I think it's very important for cats to have a little bit of stimulation And, because cats can tend to be a little lazy. And so that's really what the product does. But to your point, it is just that. It is just catnip. And so there's no additives, no preservatives, single ingredient, all natural, organic, and that's really a plus. I think we get a lot of high marks for that, Michelle.
I'll give you high marks. The crew loved it. Dennis and Molly and Charlotte loved it. Dennis, and he's the older dude, and he doesn't get super excited about much, but he was rolling around. I've never seen him lick. He was licking it. I've never seen that before. So he loved it.
Most cats will, some roll around in it. Some will lick it. Some have actually eaten it. And again, it's a natural plant. And, just like any other species, when you've had enough, right? So the fact that it's non-addictive, it'll have the impact that it has for cats, and they can come back to it in another, 20 minutes, half hour, just because the lingering effects are short-lived. So that is a plus. I'd agree.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this short break and a message from our sponsor.
When Helen Brown ran away to New York City 5 years ago, she had no idea that a homeless cat with a punk rock haircut and enough Cattitude to light up the Empire State Building would be the one to teach her the true meaning of love and a forever home. In the tradition of her internationally best-selling memoir, Cleo, Helen Brown's Bono, the amazing story of a rescue cat who inspired a community, is a heartwarming true story about a woman without an anchor, a homeless cat without much hope, and finding a forever home in the city that never sleeps. Modern Cat magazine calls Bono an uplifting tale about how everyone deserves love and a second chance. Bono by Helen Brown is on sale now everywhere.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Doggo Suds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Doggo Sud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Doggo Suds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back, everyone. How much should you give your cats and how often?
Oh, definitely by the gram. No, I'm just joking. So,
like we have gram scales in the house, right? We're not all dealers here. So what? A couple of pinches? What's the right measurement?
Yeah, so I would agree that a few pinches definitely would work, depending upon the pet parent. Some have a cleanliness vibe about them, and they want something to put the catnip in so it's easier on the cleanup side. And so we have these little cotton bags that we get from a partnering company that's also in Kansas City, Missouri, where we're headquartered. And so you put them in this bag, you have 2 drawstrings, you just kind of tie it together, and then you can throw that on the floor, and like I said, the cattle, they can sniff it because it's a non-biodegradable bag. It's a cotton fabric, right? So it's breathable, and they just have at it. Now, those same 2 pinches, you could spread that on the floor. Again, the cats will get after it however it is that you should dish it out. Now, we also infuse our catnip into some of our other toys, like our spliffs and blunts, like you mentioned, and those are a hemp fabric, right? So it's very durable, and so the cat will grab that thing with the hind legs and then hold on to it with the front paws, and then they'll just kind of, rub around on it, and it's really fun to watch. So, some of the videos you've seen have just been pretty stellar. But the other side is that as a utility, even if pet owners have other toys, that they bought from some other vendor, the catnip spray that we have, which is, it's essential oil from the plant itself, and then, you got to kind of dilute it a little bit because it is very potent. Never spray it on your couch, Michelle. Ever.
Not on your couch?
But there you go, because you don't want the cat just ripping through your couch, do you? So, if you have like a scratching post or some other toy, you can use the catnip spray and that'll reinvigorate it, right? And so for the cost of the spray, based upon the investment that a cat owner's already made, I think it's just a great tool, and it's pretty popular as well, at least in terms of all the other products that we sell in our line. Yep.
You know what? You gave me a great tip by spraying the catnip spray on a scratching post. For those of you that have cats that are not used to using a scratching post, or they just don't know, a lot of them are instinctively know what to scratch on. This is a great way to teach them to scratch on a scratching post or where they should be scratching versus your love seat or your couch or something else that should not be scratched up.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. So are there, so Michelle, we really, we appreciate you bringing us on, and we're happy to announce that Meowijuana has been focused in the toy space, obviously for the last year and a half, but you were at the global show, and we did launch our newest product, which are our Meowijuana Munchies. And so these are our cat treats, and again, very sensitive to the 3-ingredient or less rule, right? So you've got 3 flavors of chicken, beef, or turkey, and then, we use a glycerin, kind of hold it all together, and then for some of those treats, we actually infuse it with catnip, right? So there's your 3 ingredients, and I think the cats go well with that. It's a soft treat. We also have some more chew-like treats, which are our turkey line, our turkey tendons, our Thai turkey sticks, and so cool names. Great packaging, that's really fresh, and we're really excited about that, for the cats. And of course, those that have sampled it thus far had good things to say, but we want to make sure that it's good for the American consumer, right? So we'll be doing a little bit more with that as time goes on, but we're pretty excited about that as well.
Well, congrats. Now, when will the Munchies be on the market?
Yep. So we pre-sold those at Global, which was in March. And so now they are available, right? So again, consumers can go to our website, which is meowijuana.com. And if you're a retail store owner and you already have, if we're already providing services to you, those are available. So we've made that product available, so it's available now. So you can pick it up for your cat, and they should have some fun with that as well. We also opened up our full line of apparel because, we want to cater to the humans as well. Like I said, closer relationship between pets and pet owners. So we've got some really cool T-shirts that we've put together that have our logo on them and about 5 different designs. We've also got a few other shirts that we've recently launched. The one I think that has gotten the most rave, at least from a social media perspective, is our T-shirt, 9 Lives Matter. That one was pretty interesting, but we've had a lot of fun and a lot of good feedback with that one. And cat owners and cat lovers, they surely dig it. So that's fine by us. So again, we're just having a lot of fun, and we really appreciate you having us on because again, we're trying to grow as well, and we're surely happy to do these sessions with you.
I'm so glad to have you on. I can't wait to check out the rest of your Meowijuana products. So, Marc, I love your product, and I know a lot of our listeners are going to love it too. You have a special for all of our fans for Cattitude for Meowijuana where they can get a free sample. What is this special that you're doing for us?
Yeah, Michelle. So we just want to make sure that we can provide a way for all of America, optimistically, to see why Meowijuana is simply the best catnip you can give for your feline friends. So we do have a special, and if anyone signs up and subscribes to Meowijuana, we will send them a free sample along with, we'll throw in a free sticker, free Meowijuana sticker, and the cost for that is $2, which basically covers the shipping and handling. And so anyone at any time can sign up, and we'll get that sample out to them, and then they can have a party right there in their own home with their cat. So we think that's pretty awesome, and we're really excited about that, and we appreciate you guys continuing to push that on our behalf.
I love it. And for everyone listening, there'll be a link on the episode page for Cattitude, and just go to this episode page, and there'll be a link And for a little while, there'll be a link also on our homepage. So you just have to go to PetLifeRadio.com, click on the link, and you'll get to try this amazing catnip for this amazing Meowijuana for your cat for just the measly sum of shipping and handling $2. Isn't your fur kid worth $2? Yeah, of course.
There you go. Absolutely. No kidding around.
I love that. Marc, thank you so much for coming on Cattitude.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Really had a good time. Call us anytime. Would love to do it again. And you're a great host. Thanks for coming to our show. And we love it. Thanks again.
Thanks, Marc. Bye-bye. What a great show. And what a great treat for your kitty. They are going to love Meowijuana. Just take a look at my Best Bets for Pets Instagram. You'll see the package they tried to claw their way through, and luckily couldn't get through. And then you'll see Dennis and Molly checking out the Meowijuana. Boy, did they have fun. And so did Charlotte. So, special thanks for everyone listening. Thank you so much. Thanks to my guest, Marc from Meowijuana, for making this a super fun show. Thank you to my test crew that really just had the best time with their Meowijuana. That's Charlotte, Molly, and Dennis. And thanks to my producer for making me and my guest sound great. And of course, thanks to everyone listening. If not for you, there's no show. So thank you so much for listening. Don't forget, go to the homepage of Pet Life Radio. There's going to be a link that you can click to get your free sample of Meowijuana. You just pay the couple of bucks shipping, and what's $2, right, for your cat to be in Meowijuana heaven? Keep listening. We have some more great shows coming up.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.